This is a B-52. It's our oldest, I think it's the stinking oldest aircraft still in U.S. Air Force service. It might not be. I know it's the oldest bomber for sure. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember actually if it was 53 or 54. And I always want to say 52 because it's in the name. But it's, you know, I'm pretty sure it's a year or two after.
So how many years of it has been used?
Do the math. I don't feel like it. It's like, it doesn't say on here either.
First flew on 15th April 1952.
Wait, it does. Oh, okay. Shoot, it was 1952. It's got 8 engines instead of just 4. It's stinking big. And the other thing I found weird, 4 landing gear, and then it's got landing gear on the wings, which I always found odd compared to other aircraft, which usually have like a tricycle configuration of some kind. This one just has like hair jump jet style. That one there is a C-141 Starlifter, I think. I accidentally, last time I was here, I wasn't recording, but I accidentally called it, I think, a C-17. It's not C-17. It's what came before the C-17. It's an older aircraft. I'm trying to keep these other people out of the shot, so, because I don't want to end up posting anyone online who didn't want to be. And that bomber there, I have no clue what it is. I've seen it before. I don't remember its name, so I guess we'll go up there and read the plaque on it. But yeah, that one's a Starlifter. I think it's neat because it's one of the ones they actually kept the engines in. Right. There's a few of those. I think it might use similar engines to the one on the J-Stars back there, which I'll have a lot to say about. Yeah, C-141. I like how they write range unlimited with in-flight refueling. I mean, no doubt. If you have in-flight refueling, eventually you're going to have to come down for maintenance. Let's see what this guy is. Because again, I've seen these a couple times. I know they're older because I've seen them in pictures with B-47s and early B-52s, I think. Yep. So, it's a neat guy. Neat little guy. Douglas WB-66 destroyer, huh? The W makes me think of refueling or electronic countermeasures or whatever, some other role. Yep. Okay, yeah, this one's electronic countermeasures. Yeah. Well, that's neat. It's kind of also neat because I noticed back here, I'm assuming it just shares the same fuselage with the plane B-66, and that's why it's got this. But you can see back here, this looks like a spot where you'd put a gun turret. It looks like it. I don't know for sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, you can literally see it. So that's cool. And that's something you don't see on anything but some older B-52s. And by the way, we're going that way. And I still haven't figured out what that plane is. I haven't looked it up. I really need to do more research before doing these. But, yeah, I kind of find it fun to just come out here and talk about what I do know. For example, J-Stars is a ground radar aircraft. My dad worked on software for them until they were retired. And I believe, well, the software quit in either 2019 or 2020. And I know the planes themselves either retired last year in 2023 or 2022. I think it was November 2023. This one's a Georgia example, so she's here at home, and she also has intact engines as well. And these are based on a 707, which was a civilian airliner that was famous for being like the first civilian airliner. I think I was talking to you on the way over here about how like all airliners end up looking the same. Yeah, that's because all of them kind of look like the 707 because it was the first really successful one. And the bugs around this aircraft, for some reason, they love it. I don't get it. I was trying to take a picture with it all the time I was here, and well, one of the pictures was just me with hands on my face because I was trying to get the bugs off my face. So over here we got a couple fighter aircraft, and I guess you could consider two of them are interceptors. Actually, I think F-101 was maybe originally designed as an interceptor. I know the F-89 here is. This is early Cold War stuff. Some of them had guns in the nose. Some of them didn't. Some of them had rocket pods out on the wings, where these are, I'm pretty sure, just fuel tanks. But this one also doesn't have comes in the nose as that I can see. They're developed, pretty sure, similar time as the FA-6 Sabre Dog, which that one used rockets, unguided rockets, but had a radar to guide them. So I can't remember if this one did that too. But I know, again, that some of these had rocket pods out on the wings, and some of them had 30 mils here. Something I do have to question is, not many planes have windshield wipers. I wonder why this one does.
Yeah.
I may never know.
Usually the wind does that for you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So this one says two Genie air-to-air rockets. The Genie was a nuclear unguided rocket.
Yeah, with nuclear warhead.
Yeah, the idea was you launched it at a bomber and it would get in the blast radius. And it also says it could carry up to 4 AIM-4C Falcons. I've heard of the Falcon, but I don't know anything about it. So I do know something about this aircraft. This is an RF-101, which is a variant of the F-101 over there, the Voodoo. And it's got a camera in the front, which makes it a reconnaissance aircraft. And I find it kind of neat because there's a lot of... These guys did low supersonic passes over enemy territory a lot of the time. And I don't think you can see it here in this one, but there would be a camera there. I know you can see the camera in the nose if I stuck this up to the camera in the nose. Camera. It says something like April 1968 over there. And these were just neat because, well, it's supersonic reconnaissance, but before stuff like the SR-71, and a lot of pictures were taken with these, so it's a neat aircraft, and it doesn't get as much credit for a lot of the things it did compared to like the U-2 or SR-71, and the U-2 was in service at the same time as the thing, so it kind of makes sense. This one's an F-101. This guy is it was built off of the XF-88 Voodoo and developed into the XF-101 and then eventually F-101. And I know they were used in the fighter role. I'm pretty sure they were used in the interceptor role as well. It was one of our first really performant supersonic aircraft, other than like the F-100 Super Sabre. I am talking myself out here. That's what I did last time too.
I wonder what's up.
Yeah, see?
What's in the nose there?
Pretty sure radar.
Radar.
I mean, it might not have anything in the nose.
That's some light.
Oh. It could also carry Genies, apparently, and it could also carry Falcons, apparently.
Nice.
That's neat. I keep having to like do the camera over you because I don't want you to get in the video.
Yeah, fair enough.
And this one's a MiG-21. This one's a Russian jet, and this one's very famous, and a lot of people like this jet. And this looks like an earlier MiG-21. It's not a BIS or SMT or anything. It's not got the extra fuel in it. This thing was freaking fast, and it was pretty gosh darn maneuverable too. Yeah, well, that and it's just a good looking aircraft in general. I think it looks really cool, and it was what competed against the F-4 Phantom, which was kind of the American, competitor to it at the time. It has a single engine instead of two like the Phantom though, and I don't know. I just think it looks really cool, especially in this like winter camo.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're neat. It's got some 23 mils down here. You can see where the cannons would shoot out here. Yeah, a lot of the supersonic stuff. And then we have just a plain C-130. We had an AC-130 in the other video. This one's just a normal C-130. I mean, it might be a KC-130. I haven't looked back there yet. And no, it's just a Hercules. These are really cool in my opinion too. A lot of the cargo aircraft are kind of underrated. You'll have people fly up in these in the Hurricanes. They're called Hurricane Owners.
Yep.
An aircraft's got to be kind of durable and kind of reliable if it's flying into a hurricane, you know. I'm just saying. This one's actually an E, not an H, but it's still a Hercules. So. That was the backside of that former Air Force One that the other thing cut off at. There's that RB-69A, which I learned is actually not a true RB-69A. It's RB-69As were developed off the P2P, but for the CIA, but there are none, at least that I can tell, or as far as other people can tell I've asked around, remaining. So this one's just painted by the Aviation Museum to look like an RB-69.
Oh, okay.
And there's one last thing back here, and I can't remember if it's got a plaque or not, and I'm pretty sure I know what it is. I really should have looked more into it before I came back here. It's a I think a Nike ballistic missile, nuclear ballistic missile. So yeah, it's not got a plaque. I think it's a Nike. It might be too small. It might be some other model. You know, people will let me know if I'm wrong or if I'm right. They're neat though. It's got the whole rocket sled and the boosters on the back to get it up off the ground, the first stage. And this wasn't, again, I think I mentioned this in the other thing. This wasn't back here originally. There was originally that former Air Force One. This is, again, 707.
Yeah.
And there was a D-21 drone back here, which is one of our first kind of reconnaissance drone things. It's really neat. It would launch off an SR-71, and it had like a pre-programmed path in it. It was supposed to fly over, take pictures, fly over, and then come back, and it would drop the picture pod off, and it would just keep flying out until it ran out of fuel or something, or crashed. So yeah, that's all of this other side, all except this aircraft. And I'm gonna go look at it. I don't remember its name. I don't remember much about it. I have seen them in footage before, but I don't know much about it. It's a really big cargo aircraft though, and I think that's neat.
Yeah.
I like the cargo aircraft a lot. I think I've mentioned before. I'm starting to grow fonder of them than I am some of the fighters and such, because these are the things I like, things that are less well known, and the things that kind of do the heavy lifting. And these are those things, because people don't talk about them as much, you know. People always, yeah, the underappreciated ones. People like to talk about the fighters and the interceptors and the bombers and whatnot. People don't talk about the real backbones of the Air Force that carry around the fuel, that do all the radar work, spotting out enemies and whatnot, and the people, you know, carry parts and supplies and stuff, you know. Dang, it's a lot harder out here than the other day. We gotta get inside. So. Jeez, but look at these landing gear. I really do wish they had a plaque out here so I could just read off the plaque to figure things out. But they I think they had one before. This used to be where the J-Stars was. Yeah, look at this. Compare this to my hand. Yep. These engines are pretty awesome and big too.
Yeah.
The entire thing is stinking big. I'm gonna hedge a bet and say those are Wasp Majors. That's what the engines were, I think. Because they're so stinking big. Wasp Majors were like the last big prop engines we made. There's something ridiculous like 72 liters displacement. So yeah, that entire front there. Again, I've seen these planes and footage and stuff. I just don't remember its name. That front right there opens and a ramp comes down. And I'm pretty sure it was troop transport, and that's why. Anyways, I think that wraps this up for this side of the outdoors, and the other one was the first part. I may do some stuff for the indoors maybe another day. I'm kind of just doing these one at a time. But yeah, that was neat. And I think I'll end off with a shot of my favorite, at least over here, my favorite of the big planes over here, which is the J-Stars, because I have personal involvement with this one.